So, Dad, how's it going? Better than I was at that age?
By far.
Oh, he's doing well. We still need to work on polishing a few skills here and there, though.
I need to get used to the pace of the expressway. I get nervous around all the traffic.
I did too. You'll be fine once you get some practice.
Yeah, we're going to head to the expressway now, and we'll practice a few things along the way.
All right, I'll let you go then. Good luck. Adam is approaching a curve, and it's important that he asks himself a few questions before he reaches the curve. Does it curve to the right or left? How sharp is the curve? Can I see the exit of the curve ahead? After asking himself these questions and checking traffic to the rear, he can determine the best speed and lane position in which to enter the curve. In most cases, it's best to enter a curve in lane position 3, or the right half of the lane. This allows the most space between your vehicle and any oncoming traffic. You must slow down upon entry of the curve by squeezing your brake. However, you should trail off the brake through the central part of the curve until the exit point. Your tires will have more traction on the road surface than if you brake all the way through the curve. Once you reach the exit point, or apex of the curve, you should accelerate lightly to pull the car through the curve. Always remember to look as far ahead into the curve as possible in order to see if anything is in your path of travel.
You're getting much better at handling these curves. Some of your sister's friends would misjudge the sharpness of curves and take them at speeds way too high. If you can't tell how sharp a curve is, just slow down. Assume the worst.
It's also a good idea to be in lane position 3 when you approach hills. In most cases, you have no idea what's on the other side of the hill ahead of you. Neither do oncoming drivers. Because of this, you should also reduce your speed as you approach the top of the hill. This will give you more time to respond to any obstructions that might be on the opposite side of the hill. When driving down a hill, you should always check your rearview mirrors for any potential problems. Vehicles may be approaching too quickly, or large trucks may be having trouble braking. If you see a large truck behind you with smoke boiling out from beneath it, pull over and let it pass. The truck has most likely lost its brakes.
As you drive, I want you to tell me what you see around you and what you're doing.
Okay. Well, I'm driving 40 miles per hour, and there's a car behind me with its headlights on.
Is that a Dodge?
That look on Adam's face is appropriate. My dad has the right idea to ask questions while Adam drives. It's called commentary driving. Once your student becomes more comfortable with their driving experience, it's a good idea to help keep them sharp by involving them in commentary driving. But that last question was a bad example. Try to avoid questions that require your student to look away from the road ahead for seconds at a time. However, you should ask simple questions relevant to the current drive.
Sorry, Adam, that was a distracting question. How about if you just tell me what you see in front of us?
We're approaching an intersection controlled by a traffic light. The light's green, so I can continue through it. The car directly ahead of me is braking, so I have to slow down. Now he's signaling left to change lanes. Farther ahead of us, there's a police car with its lights on, so I'll have to slow down.
That's right. Always slow down for emergency vehicles and pull over to get out of their way when necessary. What should you be concerned about up ahead?
We are approaching a railroad crossing.
And what should you never do at a railroad crossing?
You should never try to beat out a train, and you should never stop on the tracks.
That's right. That's dangerously stupid. If your car would ever stall on a railroad track, get out and run as far away from the car and towards the train. Then call for help.
Okay, I got it.
Now, what are you going to do about the bicycle ahead?
I've got to slow down and share the road.
Right. In many places, bicycles have the same rights and responsibilities as cars. In some places, they even have bicycle lanes. In other places, you just have to carefully share the road with them.
Adam's probably getting close to entering the expressway. expressway driving involves speeds of up to 70 miles per hour with heavy and unpredictable traffic. For drivers, this means less time to identify problems ahead and much less steering input needed to maneuver. Let's take an overhead graphical look at merging. First, you enter the entrance ramp. These often include sharp curves that require you to greatly reduce your speed. Located directly after the entrance ramp is the short acceleration lane. This lane allows you time to accelerate to appropriate speeds before merging. At this point, you should signal that you intend to merge onto the expressway. The merge area is directly ahead of the acceleration lane and can be identified by broken white lines replacing solid white lines. You should try to merge onto the expressway at the speed of expressway traffic. Once you find an appropriate gap, merge into the lane. At high speeds, it's important to know that minimal steering input is necessary when changing lanes. Abrupt steering movements may cause total loss of control of your vehicle. Along with parallel parking, merging at such high speeds can be super stressful for new drivers. You have to enter the expressway at high speeds or you'll become a hazard to everyone. It may take time to get comfortable with this, so parents, help your students determine appropriate gaps when merging on the highway the first few times. Following distance is critical on expressways. Because of the high speeds, always try to maintain a following distance of at least 4 seconds. Remember to increase following distance when following large trucks, buses, and motorcycles. Following large trucks and buses too closely blocks your view of the roadway ahead and may put you in their blind spot. When weather conditions worsen. Traveling in rain, sleet, snow, or fog requires a greater following distance because you can't see as far ahead as normal and it takes your car longer to stop. When entering and exiting the expressway, you need to increase following distance to provide a gap for yourself and other drivers. You also never know what's on the other side of the sharp curves of entrance and exit ramps. Do you see a pattern here? As a general rule, increase following distance anytime you're unsure of what's ahead.
Do you see how there are cars driving directly next to you in both surrounding lanes?
Yeah, I see them.
Try not to get yourself boxed in like this. This will prevent you from steering away from any potential problems that might be in your lane ahead of you.
Should I slow down to give myself some more space?
Well, yeah, but just a little bit. You don't want to slow down too much and become a hazard. If you're ready, we'll give passing a try.
Let's do it.
Passing is a very dangerous maneuver, and the high speeds and the large volume of traffic on the expressway doesn't make it any safer. Go ahead and signal and check the traffic around you. Take a quick glance over your shoulder to make sure that the lane is safe for you to move into.
Looks good.
Wait a minute, Adam. The lane next to you may be clear, but there's a vehicle on the far left that has its turn signal on.
So what does that mean?
When two cars want to enter the same lane at the same time, the car on the left has the right-of-way. This applies to merges also. And vehicles exiting the expressway have the right-of-way over vehicles attempting to enter it. Now that the car is passed, check traffic again and smoothly change lanes. Once you get ahead of the vehicle, you must signal and see both of the other vehicle's headlights in your rear view mirror before you move back into your original lane. Make sure you turn off your turn signal because you don't want the drivers behind you to be guessing whether they're going to be changing lanes again.
Passing on a highway can be dangerous, but passing on a 2-lane residential road is even more dangerous. To pass on a 2-lane roadway, make sure you have a broken yellow line and that oncoming traffic is a safe distance away. If you have any doubt whether oncoming traffic is a safe distance away, do not pass. Passing is never worth the risk of a head-on collision. Never attempt to pass on curves, hills, and bridges, or at intersections and railroad crossings. It's simply unsafe. So you know how to pass someone safely. But what about being passed? When you're being passed on an expressway, you can reduce the risk of an accident by changing lane position if the vehicle passing you is too close, by not increasing speed when you're being passed. Speeding up only makes other drivers angry.